Hi everyone, welcome to week one. This week is going to be a very fun week. We're going to get to explore how healthcare and economics converge. Each week I'm going to have a video for you, and these videos are fun because I really don't dig into everything in this video. What I do is create sort of an overview. If we were in a face-to-face class and I was giving out an assignment for the week, what would I tell you in the class about the deliverables, which are the graded items in the class? So we're going to go through graded items. We are going to look at what the prompts say and then examples of answers in the past. Now, the answers that I've put here aren't meant to be perfection. They're meant to be good examples. So in some of them, you may go, well, I don't know that I would put it that way. That is perfectly acceptable. These are just ones that I have had in previous classes that I felt like, you know, this student really hit the mark here. And so I hope that you will take a look at these. I'm gonna post that the PowerPoint as well as what I'm sharing with you in the announcement. So that's why you're going to be able to take a look at those, maybe a little more detailed, because some of them are a little small when we're going through this on the video. So first, let's dig right in. We are going to have a discussion board this week. Actually, we're going to have kind of a couple discussion boards. The first one, post an introduction. This tells me more about you. It helps me to gear some of my responses to my discussion boards, kind of to your degree, kind of to your ideas. That way, it relates more to you, because my goal in this class is to make it as related to you as possible. You may be going, how does economics relate to me? Well, economics relates to all of us. When we're thinking about purchasing things, we definitely want to know interest rates, things like that. We want to know what the economy is set to do in the future. That way we'll know if housing prices are getting overheated. It'll also help us to have an idea, gee, am I going to need to find a job in a couple of years? We're going to look specifically at healthcare and how that's poised to grow in the next 20 years. Excuse me. So let me know about you. Second, we're going to have a graded discussion board on the invisible hand or trade-offs. So you're going to have two different options. You don't have to do both. So once you do pick which option from the prompt, you're going to write which option it is above your answer. This is helpful because if somebody is wanting to reply to a post, they may choose to reply to the post that's not their own. Like, I've already researched option one. I want to learn and respond about option two. So one thing that always helps is if you can see that right up at the top and go, oh, that's what they posted on. I don't want to respond to that one. Or I do. So here is an example from option one. The invisible hand basically just means that the market takes care of itself. If you think about Austrian economics, classical economics, laissez-faire economics, these are all economic theories that come from this invisible hand. Adam Smith wrote about the invisible hand in the 1700s, I think. So this has been around for a very long time. How we interpret it and use it has changed over the years, obviously. And so write about how basically as an economy moves, it shapes itself. For instance, if you want an example, let's say we have a hospital and we are supplying a ton of different technology services. If nobody comes in and buys that, if nobody gets these scans, the business will cease to really expand the technology in the future. They will move to a different technology, or potentially, if they don't have customers at all, they will shut down. So that demand is going to drive what is supplied. And that's what we're saying by invisible hand. our invisible hand drives us to supply what people are interested in purchasing. Excuse me. Now, this is something about option 2. Remember, we can go back here. It's about trade-offs. So when we detail option 2, we talk about how in order to get something, we have to give up something else. And that creates what are called opportunity costs. The opportunity costs are the things that we cannot have if we're getting something else. And this is kind of a life lesson we're always trying to tell our kids about. You know, definitely please be sure to think about spending all your money on candy, because then you won't have money for fireworks, that sort of thing. And this is just an example of somebody posting on that. Once again, see how this one is very long. This one is shorter. Both are completely acceptable. I want to know your ideas. I love to see an example, that sort of thing, but answer the prompt in your words. You can use sources, and you should, to reinforce your ideas, but definitely do at least 7 of your own sentences for every 3 sentences of source material. I like to hear your words more than a restatement from a source. So you are required to post replies each week. This is an idea of a reply. It has some references I didn't end up posting here because they wouldn't fit on the page. But they do have sources in here as well. Once again, it's always fun to reply to the other side if you pick one option. That way you get to kind of research the other. What's neat about this reply is they talk about healthcare in relation to opportunity costs. Oh, goodness. Okay, the reminders for this week. Use at least 2 sources and cite and reference using APA format. Post on 2 different days. By Wednesday at midnight, please get the initial post in, and then you can do the other post whenever you can before Sunday at midnight. Now we are going to go to our assignment. Our assignment's on scarcity. Once again, 3 options. Pick which one interests you. You can read through these and see kind of what's the most interesting. This option 3 is the broadest. You can pick a product or service that interests you. You can pick your own business. If you have, you know, your own business, that would be a great idea. This is some of the nuts and bolts. Talk about a summary of scarcity and a recommendation to reduce scarcity in your situation. You want to do 1.5 to 2 pages, but that will not include a title or reference page. These are some of the standard formatting requirements. Give a title page and a reference page. Use 2 articles. Here's an example. This one's on oil. I'll let you read through that just because I think my voice is given out today. Then contributing factors to oil scarcity. Once again, why is this scarce? Why do we not have as much as we want? And this is an easy one because oil has been scarce forever. And so it gives us an idea. And then alternatives to oil, you know, electric cars, that sorts of thing. You can add here, pick your interest, solar, wind, hydropower, any of these would work. This example is kind of fun because it kind of goes over all 3. And then you'll write a conclusion. And that, you know, once again, a conclusion should be 4 to 6 sentences. Intro should be 4 to 6 sentences. And that will conclude your paper, and then you'll write a reference page at the end. You can turn in your scarcity assignment late. There is a 5% late doc for each day. The late discussion boards are typically not accepted. Now, this late policy, I want you to understand if there's like a big event, like you were in the emergency room last night, let me know because we can waive that late doc for you. I hope this has been helpful and that it helps you to prepare for the week 1 work. If you do have questions on anything I presented, anything you've read, please let me know. I hope you have a wonderful week 1 and enjoy this class. Have a great week.